Is there something I can help you with?
You're Lubosh, right? Dushin Sokol told me Ark might have the answers I'm looking for. He sent me to you.
Dushan? I heard the police had him and his brother Tibor locked up in the Narrows.
Yeah, the cops were working Dushin over pretty good when I found him. Wasn't exactly a fair fight, so I stepped in.
Is he okay?
He'll be fine. Looking forward to sleeping in his own bed tonight.
Not a lot of people in here would be bothered to stop and help out the stranger.
What was happening wasn't right.
You took on the police by yourself, on their own turf?
And then Dushin pointed me to you.
He was right to do so, but I'm sure he would have given you something more. Some wisdom, maybe?
When you've robbed a man of everything, he's no longer in your power. He's free again.
Spoken like a true brother of the revolution. I think I even heard conviction in your voice. I'll unlock the elevator for you. Go on up.
What can you tell me about Talus?
First time I met him, he's cutting a bullet out of me while trying to explain the history of the Gulag. He has his hand stuck in my leg, and he's encouraging me to study Stalinist labor camps. 3 months later, I pass him in the throat, and he says, "Lubosh, how's the leg? Are you studying the Gulag like I suggested?" Remembered me like it was yesterday.
Sounds like he has a good memory.
No, I mattered to him. Me, a nobody, mattered to a great man like Talos Rucker. That's the kind of man he is.
How did you get involved with Ark?
I used to load freight for the Czech railway in Ostrava. After the incident, my employers were afraid of me. I was fired. So like most of the augmented in the country, I drifted into Prague, unlicensed and homeless. The police swept me up in a sewer raid one night, put a round in my leg and dumped me here. It wasn't long before Talos found me.
And he gave you work?
He gave me purpose. He's the reason I'm still alive.
Dushin said some of the police are using the Ruzika bombing as an excuse to hurt the augmented in Gollum City. Why do you think that is?
They're trying to manufacture a response from Talos to get Ark to fight back.
Violence begets violence.
That's right. And if Ark responds violently, then their case against us only builds. But Talos is too smart. He won't allow Ark to be baited into a false confession, even if it means that the people we've sworn to protect are hurt.
Great, thanks.
This is a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting any customers today, given the unpleasantness outside.
Are you Louis Galois?
I am. If this is a referral, may I ask which of my customers was impressed enough to recommend me?
Tibor Sokol.
Ah, poor Tibor. But how may I be of service?
Let's talk about the Diwali crime family.
Who are they?
They're the people running organized crime in Prague. Their second in command is a man named Otar Botkavelli. Heard of him?
No. I'm sorry, I haven't.
Well, that's too bad. I was hoping you could tell me why he wants me to kill you.
Shit! He wants me dead? Drug son of a bitch.
Sounds like you're starting to remember him now.
Yeah, Otar. He just slipped my mind for a moment.
That's not the only thing slipping.
Fine, smart guy. I work for Otar's boss, the head of the Diwali family, Radic Nikoladze. I spy on Otar's activities for Radic. Shit, I just realized. The other Pakyan, Konstantin, he died in the train station bombing.
You're thinking Otar wants to get the second spy, you, out of the way, and make a move against Radic.
I'm sure he'd love that. Those two have had their own private Cold War going on for years. But still, getting rid of me and Konstantin wouldn't be enough. Otar needs to gather more support in Prague and in Georgia.
But he could do it.
The only thing keeping him from consolidating his power is... well, me? But you're not really planning to kill me, are you?
No, I draw the line at assassination for would-be mob bosses.
Thank you. Thank you. What can I do to repay you? Name it. Anything.
Vaclav Kolar. What's his connection to Radic?
Wait, I can't tell you that. Radic would kill me.
You said anything. Unless you'd prefer the alternative.
Damn it. Okay. Radic, Kohler, and I have a trilateral arrangement. Radic has an augmented leg. You just became the 5th living person to know that. So, I get Radic his neuropazine, and Kohler maintains his leg. In return, Radic looks out for us.
He's not doing a great job of that. You're lucky Otar sent me instead of somebody else.
He won't stop with you either. I'd better get out of the country until this blows over. And I'll guess I'll have to retire the Louis Gallois persona. Ah well, I had fun playing him.
Next time, try it with a French accent. Might be more credible. One more thing. Tibor said you can get me into Ark territory without worrying about any guards.
He's right. I'll unlock the security door at the back of this room. Beyond that, there's a ladder that'll take you where you want to go.
Alright, thanks.
Is there any other way I can be of service? Perhaps you'd like to make a purchase and contribute to the Louis Gallois Escape Fund.
Victor, we got one. Patrolling the market, just like you said it would be.
I got it, brothers. Now, let's see what we've got here. These little guys can be tricky. Every once in a while, one of them will go off, even if you...
Should have tried cutting the blue wire.
If only life was that simple. You are lost, brother? It looks like you might have taken the wrong turn.
You must be the welcoming committee.
No. I am Marchenko. And Marchenko, he is more of a guardian. Like the hound at the gates of hell, yes?
I'm not real big on the classics.
That is a pity. What a man reads can tell you more about him than his face. Can I give you a little friendly advice?
Sure.
Go back. Go home. There is nothing for someone like you here.
How do you figure that? You don't know me.
I know this place, up ahead. We call it the Throat. And sometimes those get cut, yes? When outsiders come wandering in where they should not.
I'll take my chances. I just want to see where Ark hides out.
We are not hiding from anyone.
Tell that to the cops down below.
Do not listen to police and all their bullshit about Ark. Those Slupotia pricks are everywhere, breaking heads, making their mess, and we have to deal with it. Better watch yourself. They won't go easy on you either, leash or no leash.
It's not right what the police are doing. Someone has to stand up to them.
Is that you? Because it takes a lot to step out of line and answer back. And once you do, there is no return. Not everyone has the courage to take up the fight.
You make it sound like you're in a war.
It is a war. On us. On every augmented human. You see that, don't you? There is a moment coming, and it will be soon, when all of us will have to choose a side. Anyone who does not will just be in the way. And that could get them killed.
I thought Ark was about preserving human rights, not advocating armed revolt.
Here and now, brother. It is the same thing.
What you're talking about, that's terrorism.
Easy. I thought we were just two men having a conversation, discussing the issues of the day.
Like your friend Rucker? I see him on the net. He feel the same way you do?
Ah, yes. Talos. He is a good man. Strong, intelligent, principled. You could learn a lot from him.
Sounds like you already have. You're a regular true believer.
Live a day in this shithole, and you will be one too. You face what we face. The oppression, degradation, and you will know. Talos Rakar sees through all of it. He has answers.
Are you sure about that? Or is it just what you want to be true?
Well, as much as a political debate stimulates me, you are pushing my patience, and I have work to do. You have had your warning. Get out of here, while you still can.
If that was your recruitment speech, I gotta tell you, it sucked. The way I see it, after the bombing, tide's turning against you. ARC has made itself public enemy number one.
Yes, it may seem that way. For now. Until then. Sergei! Be careful in there, Shiny. Huh? Nasty rumors of a wrench getting scratches on his finish will scare the tourists away. Yes. We'll be seeing you.
Sokol, calm down.
Don't tell me to! Don't tell me to calm down. When they try to intimidate me, get me to bring them here, but I refuse.
Who?
Interpol. They're coming here.
The police know what happens to them when they come here.
Not the police. Interpol. I think they mean to arrest Talos.
Relax, Sokol. If Interpol needs to learn the same lesson we taught the police, we will be glad to teach them. We will go to any lengths to protect Talos. Now go. Go keep your eyes open, and we will handle Interpol together.
I'm unarmed.
I'm sure you'll understand if I don't take your word for it.
You're clearly very skilled. I want to thank you for holding yourself in check on the way in. My friends only want to protect me, but there's been too much bloodshed already.
You don't seem surprised to see me.
I'm not. After the train station attacks, I knew it was only a matter of time before they sent someone. Please, sit.
This isn't a social call, Rucker. I'm here to take you in.
Our mandate is to fight for the rights of the augmented. Communicate our message, offer assistance. The ARC is a non-violent organization.
All right, then this should be easy. Come with me, answer our questions, and we'll have you back here in plenty of time to film your next sermon.
I'm not a fool. If I surrender now, I'm never coming back. Once you have me, you intend to make me disappear. But I will not make Solzhenitsyn's mistake. My people and I will resist you.
I thought you were a pacifist.
I am. But I'm more than a leader. I am a symbol. That is why you wish to erase me. If martyrdom is the only way to remain a symbol, then even my death is preferable to my evaporation.
If I have to bring you in by force, I will. And your people will try to stop me. And neither of us wants anyone to get hurt, so come along peacefully. You have my word. I will do everything I can to see that you are treated fairly.
You cannot speak to me of peace or fairness. Not when your masters hide in the shadows, manipulating, controlling, murdering without the courage to proclaim their convictions in front of the rest of the world.
Come off it, Rucker. You've been preaching pacifism for years from your ivory tower. Now all of a sudden your convictions are really being tested, and you're tossing them away.
No, that's... Let me explain. The augmented peoples of the world have been stripped of their power. There are so few advocates remaining. The cause needs people like me to stem the tide of hatred before all humanity drowns in it.
You're lecturing me about the state of Aug rights? I get the same looks, I go through the same checkpoints. And things are getting worse, so your plan obviously isn't working.
I know, and it tears at me. I have been trying desperately to think of a better way, but so far, nothing. This is a very precarious time for the movement. These attacks are making everything worse for us. My leadership position within ARC is being threatened, and I suspect the two might even be connected. Please, go back to your people. Tell them to give me 48 hours, so I can attempt to resolve the internal conflict.
If the terrorism is causing you internal problems, demonstrate your strength of character. To ARC and to everyone else. By surrendering willingly. Stand by your convictions, and you'll turn people to your side.
With the Cabal in the shadows, the ones pulling your strings, and those of many others, they will never take my side. Can you understand this? If you were to take me from here, you would be responsible for more than my death. You would be responsible for my effacement, the ruination of the Augmented Rights Coalition, and the perversion of everything it stands for.
The bottom line hasn't changed. If you come with me willingly, there won't be any violence. You now have the choice. Choose the non-violent path, or you are the one betraying the cause.
I cannot watch any more of my people die. Not on my account. You have asked me to trust you, and so I will. Before we leave together, there's something I must show you. I suspect there's a power struggle brewing within our organization. Some people inside ARC are less committed to our ideals.
Are you trying to tell me you know who's responsible for the bombings?
I have only suspicions, and until recently not even that. The evidence I have begun collecting is meager, but I give it to you. This is the key card for the security door. The evidence is inside.
Why give it to me? Why not keep it, present it at your interrogation?
Because if my suspicions are correct, and I am seen leaving here with you, willingly, I may not survive to present my evidence. Somewhere down there, hiding in plain sight, is your real terrorist. I was trying secretly to find out who is responsible.
Rucker?
A lot of goddamn good Rucker being dead is going to do for us.
Your orders were to bring him in.
I fully intended to.
Then how did this happen?
I think someone being paid to manipulate Ark killed him. Someone in his crew. Rucker told me Ark was being set up, that the real terrorists were hiding in plain sight.
And was he wearing a tinfoil hat when he said this?
The man was devoted to bridging the divide between Augs and Naturals. He knew that every one of these attacks just drives the stake in deeper, and that the only way to fix things was to pull that stake out. He said he had evidence to prove Ark's innocence. He was ready to come in and talk to us, even though he knew it meant risking his life.
What evidence was he referring to?
I don't know. He was killed before he could say.
Well then, there's no use theorizing over what-ifs, is there?
What about Viktor Marchenko?
I ran that name through iLink, and got back a blank page. Why? You got something else?
Nothing more than a gut feeling, so far.
Well, I'm sorry, Agent, but I need more than that. Christ. What a mess. You know word of Rucker's death is going to spread, don't you? And when that happens, the head of state police assures me Golem City will become a war zone. We can't let that happen. I hope we're good on juice, Chicane, because I need a ride. As for you, Agent...
I still have a case to solve, and I know exactly where to start, Director. Smiley's had more than enough time to analyze that DSD I gave him.
The one you took from Razika?
I'll check in with him, see what's on it. After that, I'll go where the evidence takes me. I intend to make sure the right people are brought to justice for this, whether they're augmented or not.
Get a move on, before this case gets any colder. And keep me in the loop. Let's go, Chicane.
Alex, you here?
Hey, thanks for being quick. Didn't want to be seen hanging around by myself for too long in case you got held up.
I can be a gentleman, sometimes. You said you got something on VersaLife.
Yeah, a couple of months back, a research assistant was found dead in the Roka Seca beach facility. Special Projects Division. She was poisoned, just like Rucker.
She. You got her name?
Anik Norstad. Why, you know somebody there?
Doesn't matter. Forget it.
I can't stand VersaLife, Adam. Back when I was flying for Bell Tower in Panama, I stumbled into deep shit with them. They're the reason I've got a target on my back. They told my bosses to kill me.
If they're involved in this, we'll get them. We just need to know what this is. Rucker gave me this before he died. Said it could prove Ark is being set up. The email on it reads like activation orders to me.
Where'd he get it? Whose is it?
I've got a suspect in mind, but nothing to prove it. Until I do, can you get Janus or one of your Juggernaut friends to backtrace the IP address?
Yeah, man, no problem. Listen, about VersaLife. The information we found on Norstad was buried deep. No police report, no autopsy. Just a footnote on an insurance claim, calling it an industrial accident.
She was working with dangerous pathogens, wasn't she?
Supposedly. Janus thinks there's more to it. He's the one who found the report. Said it was off.
Off how?
Lots of blank spaces and missing details. Didn't really go into it.
And you didn't think to ask, did you?
Are you saying I fucked up?
No, not at all. You just seem to put a lot of faith in Janus's opinion, that's all.
Janus changed my identity, gave me purpose again after VersaLife ruined everything for me. He helped me see things I'd never seen before.
Like what?
Like how some conspiracy theories aren't far from the truth. After Panama, I didn't believe any of that shit Picus News kept spinning about the incident. About what caused the incident. Then things got real bad for us Augmented, and Janus gave me a chance to set it right.
By going after the men in the shadows.
By working with you. I keep thinking about what you said, about framing Ark for a break-in that makes them look like terrorists. A VersaLife researcher shows up dead, poisoned just like Rucker? Are we talking bioweapons here?
Miller's access card might help us find out.
How? I don't follow you.
NSN exchanges are stored in the system's cloud memory. If I log in as Miller using his access card, I might be able to play back more of that conversation he had with the bosses.
Shit, Adam, this isn't like planting a bug. You have to actually use the chair. For a while. If anyone catches you.
It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Your call. But I want to be plugged in and listening the whole time you're in there. Just be careful, man. Call me when you've accessed the machine.
Alex, I'm in. Anything I need to know before I start up this chair?
Every NSN is different, man, so I'm not sure what to expect. I'm guessing you'll end up in some kind of virtual conference room. No one else should be in there.
And if they are?
They'll see you as Miller, so say something snippy and log off.
Okay. Where do I find these stored conversations?
Hell if I know. This is your plan. But holographic recordings take up a lot of virtual memory, so you may have to look in several places.
I'll just have to play it by ear.
Exactly. The whisper chip is still in place, though, so we'll both know when you've done it. Good luck, Adam.
This is different.
Sending your team to Dubai was my call, but now we need to go by the book. Focus on ARC.
You want me to pin all of this on them? The bombings in Prague, the break-in at VersaLife, Dubai?
Officially, all 5 attacks involved augmented terrorists. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. But send the reports if you want me to prove it. Because ARC doesn't operate in North America.
Place call Hong Kong Alpha 10 priority message. We've got a problem. Miller wants to see a report on the break-in.
What break-in?
The one your San Francisco research facility is supposed to have any day now.
What? What exactly did you tell him? Never mind. I'll take care of it. In fact, it may even help me clean up a related incident. What have you heard from our man inside ARC?
Not much. He has to be careful transmitting. Rucker may be onto him.
Then it's time for him to use the Orchid. Tell him.
Killing Rucker. Are you sure it's a good idea? I mean, it'll certainly make things easier during Phase 2, but...
Are you doubting me, Joseph?
I'm merely concerned that the rest of the Council might not like your call. They seem less cohesive these days.
Rucker's death may upset some of them. But at this juncture, Brown is the only person we pay attention to. Once Rucker is dead, I'm positive he's going to make his move. Do it!
End call.
Adam, what are you doing in here?
I need to speak with Director Miller about my investigation. Thought maybe he was in the NSN. You?
Same. Only just leaving him a message. It's about Vince Black, our organized crime division head. I'm worried. I was hoping maybe the director had heard from him.
Black's still deep undercover inside the Diwali organization, isn't he?
The kind of deep that can be hard to swim back from sometimes, yeah. He's supposed to meet with me once a week so I can bring him back into the shallows, only he never showed for our first meeting.
From what I know of the Diwali, their influence extends outside of the Czech Republic. Maybe he's out of town.
Maybe. Maybe you could find out?
Sure. I think I can do some digging around for you. When was the last time you heard from him?
First and last time was in his office a few days ago. He seemed antsy, kind of nervous that I was there, you know?
Well, then maybe I'll poke around his office a little while I'm here.
Why stop now, right? Well, listen, Adam, Lyon's waiting on my initial batch of reports, and I'm sure Director Miller wouldn't be too pleased to find us standing in his office, so... Unless there's something else, I think this is where I'll check out.
Is there anything in Black's psyche, Val, that leads you to believe he's capable of maybe undermining the task force? Is there a chance he's gone off reservation?
Human beings are predisposed to damaging everything they come into contact with. Of course he's capable. As am I. As are you.
So these evaluations you conduct with him, they're useless in determining a course of action he might take.
I don't have a crystal ball. And Black's last eval predates my arrival here. Nonetheless, it's still helping me understand what he's dealing with on a subconscious level. That he may be in trouble. I wish I had something more concrete for you to go on.
You mentioned Leon is expecting your first batch of reports. You don't answer to Director Miller?
I'm a civilian employee, specializing in habituating deep cover operatives.
You're not an agent. So why did you choose to work with badges?
I started out working for LIM International, helping patients cope with the emotional strain of augmentation. After the incident, I needed to change my focus. Interpol was looking, so I moved my clinic to the public sector.
So you answer directly to Joseph Manderley?
It was Joe's idea to get a psychological clinic up and running inside our field offices. But listen, Adam, I have a small mountain of agent files to process, so if there isn't anything else...
Joe, huh? Sounds like you and Manderley are close.
We're close because I used his first name?
Well, you said you joined TF-29 after the incident. I assume that maybe you and Manderley started together when the task force was launched.
No, I arrived after Joe did. Look, Adam, we should probably get out of here, don't you think?
Yeah, you're probably right. I am curious, though, where Manderley came from exactly. Heard he jumped over quite a few heads to get to the big chair at TF-29. Must have some pretty influential friends pulling strings.
Why the interest in our boss?
I'd just like to know who everyone is.
If Joe had help, I'm sure it was from people who share his vision for what this task force could become. Anyway, listen, I really do think it's best if we get out of Miller's office before he returns, so if you'll excuse me...
Hey Jensen, heard you had a bit of trouble at the petting zoo.
Come again?
The snatch and grab with Rucker. Guess it's no steps forward and 2 steps back for you too, eh? Isn't that how you put it before?
Right. Only I'm not being tied up by red tape like you are. My problem is a little more complicated than that.
I'm just stating the facts as they are, mate. Although, I am a little surprised you managed to cock up such a simple task, what with you being so, well-equipped for the job.
You think because I'm augmented going after Rucker should have been a cakewalk? You know, McCready, the more I talk to you, the less surprised I am by what comes out of your head.
Is that a fact? You think you know me?
I know your type. You're a front towards enemy kind of soldier. Very effective, as long as someone points you in the right direction.
I'll wear that as a compliment, thank you. And fuck you. Now, if you don't mind.
Why do you have such a problem with me, McCready? You don't even know me.
Oh, I think I do. I've worked with your type before. You roll into barracks with your solid-state muscle, think you're more capable than the rest of us slobs.
You afraid of being replaced?
Please, mate. They broke the fucking mold when they made me. Besides, I think it's been proven that there's no substitute for good old-fashioned organic clockworks. So, again, if you don't mind, I have work to do.
So no AUG can ever live down the incident, is that it?
Is this meant to be an interrogation, Mr. Shit-hot ex-cop? Because you're dancing on my last fucking nerve.
You afraid it's gonna happen again?
Listen, Frankenstein, I lost 3 men. Good men, because one of you fucking robots had his switch.
I warned you about pushing it, didn't I? Still, that was unprofessional. Look.
We all lost something during the incident, some more than others. But the people responsible are still out there, and they need to answer for what they did. I'm not asking you to be friends, but we can't stop them as enemies.
Mismatched tools, bound by a common goal. Is that it?
Something like that, yeah.
Hell, maybe that is all we need. Suppose we just let time tell.
Right. I'll see you around, McCready.
Sure.
Oh, hey. Adam, what's going on?
Miller sent me to...
Checking my progress? Really? I said it would be done when it's done. You can't rush these things, Adam. Excellence takes time.
Right. So...
Well, I was right. Am I good or am I good?
What did you find?
Oh, just some isolated fragments from what looks like the bomb's timing mechanism. And get this, it's a Stanek.
A Stanek? The bomb's timing mechanism was a wristwatch?
Well, to address your incredulous tone, a mechanical timing mechanism is not as silly as it sounds. Security scanners can detect anything with a suspicious electronic circuit, so using a low-tech solution is really clever.
Stanek watches are custom-made locally. I think I'll pay the shop a visit.
It's probably closed. Let's see if I can find you a second option. Yeah, got it. Nomad Stanek. Founder and owner of the store, lives in the Davnia Vod district near Pilgrim Station. That's Putnik Nadraji in Czech, I think. Building number 96, second floor.
Thanks, I'll check it out.
Great, let me know how it goes.
I thought you'd be topside by now. Oh, hey, I forgot to ask. That appointment you found between Black and his informant, did it say anything else?
Just a location. A nightclub called the Red Queen. It's not much, but hopefully it'll lead to something else.
I hope so too. Listen, I really appreciate you doing this, Adam. I know how busy you are.
No problem. I'll let you know if I find something else.
When you find something else.
Right, when. I'll see you around.
I heard about Rucker. That's terrible, Adam. He was our standard bearer. What direction will the movement take now?
I don't know. I spoke to Miller as he was leaving. Told me he was going to Gollum City to talk to the state police.
Damn, I hope he has better luck than you and Smiley did. Because if you think that Prague is bad now, imagine what'll happen if reaction to Rucker's death gets violent.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, Fubar is what'll happen. What a week. And meanwhile, I'm going crazy waiting for Dr. Ozen to get back to me with my test results.
How did it go with Dr. Ozen? She ran some tests?
I swear to God, Adam. These tests they give me are more stressful than being in the field. When I'm out there, I have immediate feedback every second. And when you're doing these tests, they just stare at you and take notes. I don't like it.
Nobody does. When do you get the results?
Dr. Ozen didn't say. I don't know, hopefully in a day or two.
Try and stay positive.
Always.
So what do you think of our new doctor?
What do you mean?
I just wonder what she's really doing here.
Things are heating up here in Prague. We can use all the help we can get. I'd be worried if Interpol didn't send a psychologist. Besides, I spoke to her for an hour. I like her.
It just seems suspicious to me, that's all. We've never needed a psychologist before. Who's she watching?
Come on, Adam. You keep talking like that, and Chang's gonna change all the locks again. There are 87 agents in Prague, and I just finished handing out the new keycards.
I should get going.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Are you Vincent Black? It's me, Dobramila. Please, you... No, you are too... I'm sorry. I have made a mistake. I'm waiting for someone.
I know about your meeting. And I'm as eager to find Vince as you are. Maybe we can help each other.
Who are you? What is it you think you know?
Vince and I work together. I know who he is. I know what he does. And I know there are people worried about him.
Is he in danger? Has something happened to him?
I don't know yet. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But I get the feeling he's not the only one who might be in danger. That was some shot in the dark. You had no way of knowing who I was while I was here.
It wasn't a total shot in the dark. You're obviously not Diwali. Though I should have known right away that Vince Black wouldn't be augmented. I should be more discreet. We both should.
What kind of trouble are you in, exactly?
Vince wanted me to sell information about my husband's operation. Vlista runs a It's something Vince was digging into. Come closer. Pretend you're kissing my neck.
Your husband runs a Diwali operation. I'm assuming there are people in here who know who he is. You don't think me kissing his wife might draw unwanted attention?
Flirting is one thing. They expect it. He cheats on me, I cheat on him. But his business is something else entirely. We must be discreet, darling. Please, I'll tell you whatever I can. Whatever you want. But not here. This isn't the time to ask questions. You understand, yes?
We should talk somewhere else.
I am leaving by train tonight. There is a secluded courtyard by the tracks. Shikashka. Go before me and I'll meet you there. I don't want anyone to see us walking out together.
You sure you'll be alright until then?
I've survived marriage to that man for this long. I think I can make it one more night. I'll be okay. I just need another drink to get my courage up and to loosen my tongue. We'll see each other soon. I promise. I think it is safe for us to talk here. Finally, together we can make Vlasta pay.
Vlasta, your husband. What's this about exactly? You said you have information.
Smuggling. Weapons. Drugs. Whores. You name it, darling. All of it is heading east. I have the address of the locker where everything is stored. And I have the code to get in. You will see for yourself. And then you will do what you think is best.
You want me to shut down your husband's smuggling operation? Why?
I agreed to sell out my husband in exchange for a new life. Vince and I were still negotiating the details. You are looking for Vince, trying to pick up his trail. I guess I am negotiating with you now.
All this sneaking around, exposing your husband's criminal activities. How much danger do you think you're in?
I don't know. I was scared waiting inside that damn club. Paranoid. But I think the worst is over. I'll be out of Prague within the hour and he'll never see me again. Assuming you can pay, of course.
How did you know to trust Vince with all this? What made you believe he can help?
I didn't know. Not for sure. All I knew is that very few are willing to stand up to men like my husband. I had heard that Vince Black was one of those men. But when he didn't show up to our meeting, I don't know what to think of him anymore. I put my faith in you now.
Do you know of any other ways to contact Vince? Or do you know anything that might explain why he didn't show up?
All I know is that Vince wanted information about my husband. And that my husband... Vlasta knew the name Vince Black. He cursed it often. I believe he feared Vince.
What else do I need to know about your husband?
Vlasta is like all young Diwali. You cannot argue with them. You cannot intimidate them. You cannot appeal to their heart. All he cares about is delivering on time. And chasing after women who are not his wife.
Is that why you want to get back at him? Because of something he's done to you?
I have no illusions about who I married. I knew he was ambitious, eager to please the wrong kinds of men. But I didn't think he would turn into this monster. I want him to test failure, to have to walk home with his tail between his legs.
If I get involved in this, there's a chance he might not walk home at all.
What you do with the information I sell you is up to you. All I care about now is starting over.
Alright, this information you have, how much do you want for it?
The price of a ticket to Berlin, with enough left over to start my new life. That is what Vince and I had agreed. They say Berlin is a good city for those wanting to be lost.
Here, the ticket's already been bought, open-ended. You leave when you want.
All right. Thank you. My husband owns a storage locker next to the Palisade Bank. The code is 2565. It is the centerpiece of his operation. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Who are you? What are you doing here? If Blaster sees you, he'll... Waiting alone was part of the deal.
Vlasta, huh? What kind of deal? Why are you locked up in here?
I don't know who you are or what you want, but me getting out of here is non-negotiable. You need to leave.
I got a tip about a Diwali smuggling operation being run through here. One that may or may not involve someone I'm looking for. And headed by your friend, Vlasta.
Vlasta is not my friend. He's a necessary evil. Are you some kind of cop? I know all about cops. The ones I met in Golem were very good at introducing themselves.
I'm not like them.
Look, I'm not from here. My name is Olivier. 5 months ago, I was pulled from a train. I didn't have a ticket. They checked my name and saw that in university years ago. I was part of a radical group. 50 students, we were nothing. But it is enough for them to drag me into Golem. Since then, I have spent every minute of every day trying to get out. And now that I'm close, you are not going to ruin it for me.
You're paying the Diwalis to be their cargo. There's gotta be better ways of getting out of Prague.
Not legal ones. Not for me. Vlasta's my best shot of getting past the checkpoints. I got the rest of the money and now he's going to get me all the way to Rabia. I am not going back to Golem. Do you have any idea how bad it is?
Golem was hell. It is hell. I understand doing whatever it takes to get as far away as possible.
If you believe that, then you have to leave. I promised Vince I would follow the rules. If Vlasta finds you here, he'll get paranoid and call off our deal. And then he'll call Vince.
Vince Black? What's his role in all of this?
He's the one I had to pay to get to Vlasta.
You had to pay him where? When's the last time you saw him?
2 days ago, the basement of a convenience store in Davni Obvud. It was not far from the gates. That is all I know. Please, this is my ticket now. Do you understand? Promise me.
I came here to find out what happened to Vince Black. What else can you tell me about your dealings with him?
You pay these cops in Golem a lot of money and they get you to Vince's apartment. Then you pay Vince. Then Vlasta comes to pick up the cargo, so then you pay Vlasta. Vlasta and Vince, they had some kind of fight about money, about the location of this place. Vlasta's men blindfolded me and brought me here, and told me to wait. It's Vlasta! Look, nothing you do here can change the fact that the Diwalis move contraband through the city. It's what they do. It's something they'll always find a way to do. You stop this truck and others will still make it out. The only difference is that I won't
let's
be
get
on
this shit
any
in the
of them.
truck. I need to meet Katka at the club by 9.
Katka might have to wait.
Who sent you?
I'm looking for Vince Black. Tell me whatever you know about him and we don't have to have a problem here.
He's not a threat to you. He just wants to know about Vince.
Whatever you're going to do, Vlasta, do it quick.
You wanna know about Vince? Sure, no problem. Vince and I work together. He used his agency contacts to get me merchandise. Keep Interpol off my back. But then Vince got greedy. And so I shot him in the face. Like this.